Listen to this episode if you are building your life for freedom and you want to have a good conversation about how that's actually possible. Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Small Business Growth Podcast. Honestly, this is a conversation I could have every single day. And honestly, I think I talk about it every day with either my clients or my fiance or my family, my friends, whatever it may be. You know that my core mission in life, in business, is freedom, is balance, and to teach everybody out there that wants to have a life of freedom, that started their business for freedom, how it can actually be possible for you. This has been something that is like always heavy on my heart. It's something that I don't stay quiet about it, but it's something that is a big part of my story. And I don't talk about it as much as I am going to talk in depth about it today in this podcast. If you know my story at all, you know I am somebody that I ran my family's business for a really long time. At a very young age, I was like thrust into the family business, which was wonderful. I love my parents. We have a great relationship. I love my family's business. It was a wonderful place for me. However, at like 16 years old, I was experiencing insane burnout. 16, 17, 18, 19, every single year, we had a seasonal business. I would start this business in the beginning of the year in April. We would open it back up. It would go all year. We would close it in October. And basically by August, your little extrovert girl right here would want to crawl into a hobbit hole and like not have a conversation with anybody for a very long time. I didn't really want to do anything after. I had to take like weeks after without doing anything in order to really even recoup. And it wasn't until I stepped away from this business that I realized how detrimental it was to my mindset. And the reason that I deemed all of that normal was because when I was coming into business and I was like becoming the operations manager, I was starting to run the businesses, I really sat down and I said, let me do some research, right? I'm a researcher. I like to do things well. I'm a high achiever. You know how it goes. I am not going to do anything unless I do some research around it, or I at least know that I'm doing it semi quote unquote right. And so I read the books. I listened to the podcasts. I was watching the documentaries. I was like listening to the conversations, the interviews. All of this, I started following people on Instagram, and I was really just trying to figure out what it means to be a business owner. What does it look like? What do the people that are the highest achievers out there do? And what does this mean for me? What does it mean that my life needs to look like? What strategies do I need to do? All of that from a young age. Your girl is like a strategy focused brain. I want to know like, what is it? Whatever that means. And so I wanted to learn everything I possibly could about it. And I basically saw the narrative that is still out there that you need to work yourself to the bone. You shouldn't have any work-life balance. This business is going to run your life. Like businesses are just busy. Like business owners are busy. And I used to say all the time, oh, well, it's pretty crazy. Like people would be like, oh, how's the season going? Like, how's the business? I'd be like, well, I'd rather be busy than bored. I used to say it all the time. It was basically my like Band-Aid approach to being like, we're barely surviving, but we're going, right? It's like, oh, I'd rather be busy than bored, like ha ha ha, tongue in cheek. And it wasn't until I like stepped away from the business that I realized how toxic it was and how I was I made my entire personality around it because I had nothing else going on in my day-to-day. And it is why I am here talking about this with you today, is because when I started this business, from the day one, I said this business is going to be sustainable for me. It's going to give me freedom. It's going to give me balance. And I refuse to run a business that is the opposite of that. I'm going to make decisions based on freedom, based on balance, based on the life that I want to live, because that other business that I was running, it was my entire life. I was living on the property. I was eating, sleeping, breathing, working, everything on that property. I would stop working out. I would lose every single routine. I would do everything. And I think I could see it so black and white because, I was either in season or the business was closed. And in the two different, I would always say I'm a very different person personally versus professionally. Like personally, I'm super structured. I like to have routines. I like to chill. I like to have like slow mornings. And then professionally, I would say, no, like I'm high strung and I need these like full to-do lists. And I really love chaos. I used to always say I just adore controlling chaos. chaos. And once I like stepped away, I could see that who I actually enjoyed being. I enjoy being a structured individual, but I enjoy having that slow morning, kind of like the down to earth life. I enjoy the people around me. I enjoy relationships. I enjoy like a slower, more, day to day enjoyable life. And I think because this business was on and off, I could really see the difference day by day, but I didn't realize it until I stepped away. You guys know my story. I've said this 100 times. I've been writing something recently. I've been applying to doing some speaker stuff, some really exciting collaborations coming in 2025. And when somebody says, Maddie, will you speak? And I'm like, okay, what do I want to speak about? I could teach you social media marketing. I could teach you marketing strategies. I could teach you sales strategies. I can teach you time management, whatever. I could answer all of your business questions, but at my core, your first if I could touch everybody in the world, what conversation do I want to have? It's this one right here. And I was filling out some of these applications and talking about some of these collaborations, and I started to kind of reflect on my story and my mission a little bit around my business. And I just feel like this conversation is still not had enough. It is still not, it still hasn't changed. And from when I was 16 years old, it was like, it still is just this narrative that business has to run your life. You have to hustle, you have to grind. And I saw a picture today. And if you follow me on Instagram, on my Instagram stories, I have these conversations more often there in my posts. I'm pulling it up on my phone here if you're watching. Basically, it's like a little pie. It's a pie chart, if you can see it on the video, or if not, just picture a pie chart. And basically, like in the key to the pie chart with all the colors, it says work-life balance, wellness, confidence in your future, and stable income with different colors. And not a single one of those colors is actually in the pie chart. And it says benefits of being a small business owner. So basically saying, benefits of being a small business owner do not include work-life balance, wellness, confidence for your future, or stable income. And I have an example of this narrative being shown every single day, whether it's in a reel. Like I saw one of Elon Musk this week saying running a business should be like eating glass. Like it shouldn't be fun. People that say running a business is fun, like he's like, I don't understand that because it's not. It like literally should be like eating glass. That is just another representation of, oh my gosh, like we really do. In order to be a successful business owner, we have to totally like kill ourselves in order to get there. Like you should be in actual pain. And of course, there's always like tongue in cheek. There's always like funny, haha. But if it's all the narrative and people aren't having conversations like we are having today, it's what people actually are like, oh, like there's got to be some truth to that, right? Like it's like kind of like that friend, that friend that like always makes that joke that's kind of a little like off color, and you're like, man, I wonder, I'm starting to think that that's not so much of a joke, right? And so that is the narrative that we hear. It's the communication that we hear is like your business should be run, like your life should be run by your business. Your business should be all consuming. To be a successful business owner, you have to work all day. And it's just not the case. Coming from somebody that has been on that side and has been on this side, let me tell you, building your business from the core to have freedom is one of the most rewarding things you will ever do. Now, again, I'm not somebody that has a business the size of Elon Musk. Nobody in the world is, right? He's the richest man in the world. If you are going for that level of wealth, of that level of quote unquote success, because eating glass doesn't sound like success to me, that level of wealth in life, you might have to feel like you're eating glass for a little while. But for the average customer of mine, average client, the average conversation that I have, we want to be financially free. I love money like the other person. I love having money. I love spoiling my family and my friends. Going into the holiday season, it's something that I am so grateful to have. I don't think that it should be taboo to talk about how much money you make. I think it's something that it's okay for people to want because it gives you comfort and it gives you a lot of freedom. However, I would rather make a quarter of the money and actually be able to live a really healthy, sustainable life alongside of it. And I think a lot of you would also agree. That's why you're here. Now, I think we need to be able to make a wage that actually makes sense for us to be able to splurge and to be able to have some of the comforts and the freedom, because I've heard it before. People say you have freedom from and freedom to. Like freedom from is like freedom from worry of, not sure where your next meal is going to be. Freedom from like the fear of safety, the freedom from like all of these things. And then you have the freedom too. The freedom too is the freedom to travel, the freedom to spoil your kids, the freedom to, have whatever, like whatever your thing is that you're the freedom to have a cabin in the woods, the freedom to have your like dream home, the freedom to be able to retire your husband and have him be home with you. And so everybody deserves freedom from, and freedom too is where money allows you to have some of those things, right? And like we have to be able to do other things, but money is an element to it. If you are trying to have the level of money that Elon Musk have, life might look a little different for you. But if you are still looking for money to have freedom to and freedom from, you can live a life of balance. You can live a life of freedom. And I see it every single day of my clients that I'm working with that come to me and they are stressed, they're overworked, they've lost the passion, they've lost the fun, they've lost the creativity in their business. And we say, all right, let's look at your business and let's rework this. If you hate doing something, if it doesn't make sense for you, like let us look at your business and actually design your dream business so you can live a life that you actually want to live. And 4 months later, 6 months later, 10 months later, whatever, of course, it's always going to take time to kind of build some of these foundations. They're coming to me and they're saying, Maddie, I've never loved my business more. Maddie, I'm making more money and it feels easier than ever. I don't know why this feels like, it's like I feel like I should almost be doing more, but I'm not. Like I'm able to go on trips. I'm able to spend more time with my family. I'm able to have thriving relationships because you don't feel guilty while you're out to dinner with your friends. You don't have to skip dinner with your friends because you just had a launch that was all consuming, whatever that might be. If all of the narrative that you can find is that all of those things are normal, you are going to say, well, I'm a business owner. It's what I have to do, right? I'd rather be busy than bored, right? And now I would rather have a boring Saturday. I would rather have a boring evening than feel like I have to pack in my schedule. Are there days that I miss the chaos of running like a super multifaceted in-person business? 100%. I miss the chaos a lot, honestly. I say it to my fiance all the time. It's still so funny saying fiance. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I got engaged the day before Thanksgiving. And fiance still has like the connotation to it because every time I say it, I'm like, oh, fiance. But we talk about this with my fiance all the time. Is like, I would rather have a balanced life. So much of the narrative that we see is on overworking. It's on hustle. It's all you can find. Like, do you have to work hard to have a business? Yes, that's not something that I ever want to say is that building a business isn't hard. It is hard. It is something that takes hard work. It is something that takes the time. It is something that you have to spend time building. Otherwise, it's not going to build itself. It is something that isn't just going to come to you overnight. But do you have to hate your life while you are doing it? No. And from the average business owner that I talk to, they started their business for freedom. They started their business for time freedom, financial freedom, location freedom, schedule freedom, passion freedom to be able to do something that they really want to do. Why does that mean that you should have to have zero freedom before you can actually get there? Because what I find is people that don't prioritize this throughout their business journey end up not being able to prioritize it later either when you do have that quote unquote successful business, that thriving business. That's why I don't use the word success in my marketing. I use thriving because thriving means that it's actually quality, right? It's actually working and it's working well. Success to people might mean just dollars. Like it's just like, oh, successful might mean dollars, but success to me doesn't mean just having a whole bunch of money and having a whole bunch of sales, because I see it. Every single month, I get leads of people saying, Maddie, I had 200 orders this month come in at one time when I launched, and I hated my life for 2 weeks. Like I literally couldn't do anything else. And we have to rework that. And when we really, you started this business for freedom, you deserve to enjoy the journey too. And it might take you twice as long to get to that end goal of being in Anthropology, of being in some of these bigger stores and Free People or whatever that might look like for you. It might take you longer to hit that sales number, hit that sales quota, because sure, like if you can work 20 hours a day all day long, of course you probably are going to get more accomplished than if you work 8 hours and have a successful life as well. But in my community, what I would prefer to help people build is build a successful, thriving business, a business that is making money, but also allows you to step away from it and enjoy your day-to-day life. Because it is not something, I don't want to help people build a business where they hate their life. That is not the goal of anything that we do. I would rather you actually be able to be home with your kids. And I would rather you be able to, even if you make $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month and for a little while, or you make $5,000 a month, but you're able to really get to a certain point. I can say this because I have ran the opposite. I can say this because I've lived on both sides. Is yes, it might take you a little longer to get there. Yes, it might mean that you never make, $300 billion like Elon Musk has. Like that might not ever be your net worth. But where we are trying to build companies to is, I've worked with $1 million, $5 million, $10 million businesses that we can still build this into for the owner of the business, for the life of the business. Because what you're able to do is really look at your business model and say, okay, what strategies make sense? Where can we simplify? Where can we automate? Where can we delegate? Where can we kind of analyze what's going on and actually build a business to get there? My mission in life is to change this narrative for everybody out there, anybody that wants it. Some people really do love to work. They want to make it their personality. They want it to be it. They want it to run their life. They want it to be their life, and that's okay. But the businesses that I'm trying to run, you can use the same strategies that I learned. You'll just be implementing at a different cadence than what I would recommend for the average business owner. Because if you actually enjoy your life outside of business, it allows you to be a more successful, a more enjoyable, and it allows you to be a more productive business owner. Because in the event that you are able to step away and you're able to rest, you're able to go do something you enjoy, you're able to go ride horses or spend time with your family or go kayaking or skiing or have a weekend off, you are able to refuel, you are able to pour back into yourself, and you are able to come back fresh on Monday morning, as opposed to just having this like perpetual cycle of like hating your life and still showing up. And so you're able to actually come at it in a more productive sense. You're able to come at it where you actually feel like this is something that you want to do. You're able to come at it and say, man, like, all right, like you feel inspired almost all the time. Like I know every Monday morning I come back to my business because I take most of my weekends off. I'm able to come back to my business with in like almost like an excitement every single week, every single Monday. I'm excited to start back on work on Monday because I took the weekend off and I have some ideas clonking around my head, but I don't feel guilty that I didn't work that week. And I don't feel like I didn't get any time off. I get to be able to sit down and be like, all right, let me implement my ideas this week. Let's talk about what I had all of these ideas over the weekend and I had all of these things happening. It means you get to create that definition. It means you get to enjoy your life as well as come at your business and enjoy that process because you filled your own cup. Like it's just another representation of when you are actually able to have a self-identity and self-worth outside of the just bare achievement of your business. You are actually able to enjoy your life and be able to be a more productive member of society, a happy person, and enjoy the actual journey of it as well. And I guess again, like if you know my story, you know I stepped away from my family's business and I literally spiraled. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what to even really talk about because what I talked about was this business that I was running that I thought was so cool. I didn't know what to talk about. I didn't know who I was. I didn't really know what to do with my time. I was like thrust into this life that like all of a sudden I remember sitting on the beach on a Saturday, and my family's business was our busiest days were Saturdays. It was like our favorite days. We worked literally like 6 a.m. to like 11 p.m. every single Saturday. And I remember a Saturday, like sitting at a beach the first summer that I wasn't at my family's business being like, oh my gosh, like, what am I doing? Like, I just had this like constant, like I needed to be doing something. I needed to pick up my phone. I would like, just end up scrolling on my phone, or I would have to be doing something. I would end up working on my business, or I would do something. Like I just like couldn't sit and do nothing. And then I remember after really focusing on figuring out who I was outside of business, outside of this new business that I'm running even now to this day, figuring out who I am as Maddie, like as a person, what do I enjoy? What are the hobbies that I have? What are my values? I remember a summer later, being able to sit down again, I was on a beach on a Saturday and being like, holy shit, this is pretty cool. This is cool. I was reading a book. I was sitting there reading a Colleen Hoover book in the sunshine, reapplying my sunscreen every, 40 minutes because the UV was 10. And I just remember sitting on that, watching the kite boarders, because I live in Hood River, Oregon, and there's all these kite boarders and, wing foilers. And I remember just sitting there being like, wow, like this is really cool. I'm like literally doing absolutely nothing all day. And I didn't have that racing heart. My brain was just everywhere. I sat there, I crushed an entire Colleen Hoover book, and I just enjoyed the day. And that was the growth of really understanding the difference between being a business owner that worked all day, every day on a Saturday, to being in like borderline recovery of trying to figure out what it means to not have to work that hard. It was like the core, and I don't really talk about it too much, but I was literally diagnosed with CPTSD, complex PTSD, because I like couldn't function in that zone. And then after being able to really sit and rest with it, and to be able to see all three of those phases and see people in phase one of like really struggling, working all day, coming home from their 9 to 5 and working until midnight, literally not having a single moment to actually enjoy their life. I am able to see how those different phases of business work for other people and how worth it is. You'll hear them over the next couple of weeks as I have recorded client stories that are within my live programs who worked with me in PTP, which is my business program to help you grow your business, help you get to those consistent sales and like really reach the potential that is there. You're just not quite there yet. And really help you get that consistent sales, as well as my product sales expansion program, which is for established business owners to help them scale, but also maintain their freedom, where you have the sales, you have the marketing, it's all working for you, but your life is being run by it. We're able to actually enjoy your business more and still see more sales. I work with clients in both of those, and I have been recording podcasts of just like, let me hear your story. Let's hear what you're doing, how things are going, and how it really felt to be supported and kind of make these changes. And they all had seen incredible sales results. But when I talk about the takeaways that they had, or I talk about the biggest results, it all was mindset. They felt like they were able to control their income. They felt like they were able to breathe. They felt confident. They felt clear, and they felt like they actually had built this freedom. And like literally talking about it right now, I feel like I could cry. And in every single one of those videos, in those conversations that I had, I felt like I could cry, because that is really that is my mission. That is what I'm asking. That is what I'm teaching you. Yes, I'm teaching you the strategies. Yes, I'm teaching you at the core how to make more sales. The like masculine, do these things, post this on social media, it will work. And I am confident in the strategies, the techniques, the tactics, the frameworks that I teach to really do those things. But what I want ultimately for everybody that comes into my world is to be able to live a life that is enjoyable, to be able to have your husband step away from his demanding job, to be able to go trick-or-treating with your kids because you don't feel like you have to work, to be able to enjoy your holiday season because your life isn't run by your business anymore. Don't let the conversation and the narrative that's out there be normalized for you. Don't let yourself believe that a business owner has to be stressed out and worried and overworked and underfed and underslept, right? Like you deserve to sleep a full 8 hours. You deserve to eat all 3 meals out of your day. You deserve to have hobbies and values and things that you enjoy. And you deserve to have a business that you literally are obsessed with at the same time. I am somebody, I love my business. I could work on my business every single day because I really do just love what I do. I love working with business owners. I want to fly to meet every single one of my clients. I want to fly and meet all of them because they're wonderful and they have great missions. And I could work on my business every single day, but I know I am a better business owner when I do things for myself, when I work out in the mornings, when I might start work a little bit later, but it was because I was able to have a slow morning and read Vogue Business and spend my morning with my fiance and walk my dog. And I might not be able to get as much done than if I started work at 7 a.m., but that's okay because I enjoyed my day every single day. I honestly feel so grateful to be able to say that there are few days that I don't enjoy because I have prioritized being able to enjoy my day-to-day and to build routines, to do things, to build a life that I really do enjoy waking up to on Monday mornings, on January 1st, on whatever it might be. I feel inspired because I give myself the time to rest. And I want to have this conversation because my entire focus of this business is changing this narrative. You're going to hear me talk about it a lot more in 2025. So I hope you're ready for that. We have a lot in store with different speaking opportunities and different things that we're going to talk about with this freepreneur life. It all starts, because I know I always talk about this, so like, Maddie, it just feels so out of reach. What does this really mean? Like, yes, I want to have a actual 40-hour work week instead of a 100-hour work week as a business owner. What does this really mean? It starts with a mindset shift that it's possible. If you don't believe it, if you believe the Elon Musks of the world that say you have to eat glass in order to get there, it doesn't have to be the case. If you have to make that mindset shift first, and then you have to decide that this is the life that you want to have. Those are the first two steps. It is a decision to build a life of freedom, and it's going to take some time in order for you to get there. It's going to take changing what you are currently doing in order to get there. We have to look at the actual core of your business. Is it built for sustainability? Is it built for freedom? Is your business model built to actually be scalable, to actually build your life to make sense for you? Are you building a community? And then we start focusing on more of those tangible strategies. So yes, we have to change your mindset. Yes, we have to make the decision. Yes, we have to actually have like the business model that makes sense. But at the core of what you have to do is really just strategy. And strategy allows you to actually be able to build more freedom, because it allows you to just know what you have to do, check those things off, and keep on moving on. It allows you to take the emotionality out of actually growing a business and having things that aren't working, because you're able to say, okay, great, that didn't work. Let's change it. Okay. It allows me to say, I'm not happy doing this. Let's change it right now. And we're going to make a difference here. And it allows you to take that emotionality out of it as soon as you start to see this isn't scalable. I can't do any more of these. Let's change it and make a difference. You're able to look at data. You're able to look at numbers. You're able to actually see what is working and what's not, make slight changes, check some things off of a checklist, and you're able to move on from there. So you have to make the mindset shift. You have to make the decision, but you also have to prioritize understanding a strategy that is made for this. This is why I prioritize community building and like heart-led community building. Do I think it's the way that businesses are going to grow in general moving forward? Yes, absolutely. But it's also a priority that a lot of small businesses don't have. They're looking for mass numbers. You don't need mass numbers in order to have high cash months. I have clients that have 1,500, 3,000 followers that are making six figures a year. Why? Is because they have built a ride or die community, and it's sustainable for them. It allows them to not have this overworked like element of things. So I wanted to share this with you today because it was heavy on my heart. I saw that post this morning and it actually made me mad, because the benefits in this picture that they say are not a benefit of being a business owner, that don't fit in this little pie chart, are work-life balance, wellness, confidence for your future, and stable income. And let me tell you, building a business gives me all four of those things. Work-life balance, I get to choose. My boyfriend and I are going to go cut down my boyfriend, how dare I, my fiance and I get to go cut down a Christmas tree tomorrow morning. He's like, what time are your calls? Because we're leaving this cabin, but we'll be back for Christmas, and I want to have a Christmas tree back here. And I have a call starting at noon tomorrow, which means I'm going to go pick out a Christmas tree before noon. It means tomorrow morning, a Tuesday morning at 10 a.m., we're going to go cut down a Christmas tree. That's work-life balance to me. Wellness, it allowed me to start work at 9:30 this morning, so I could, because we had a late night, because we had some friends in town that I really wanted to spend time with, and I wasn't able to wake up at my normal 6:30, 7 a.m. and be able to get up and do my routine and get structured with it. That's wellness to me. Wellness is balance. It allows me to afford organic food. It allows me to afford these higher kind of luxury items that are better for me. Confidence for my future. I am confident because I own a business and I understand the strategy that I will be able to have a thriving something or other forever. I am confident that I will be able to do whatever I want to accomplish. I am confident that my future will have balance because of my business. I am confident that I am building a business for longevity because I am taking the time to build this business with these foundations. And The last one that is on here is stable income, which is so funny to me. Yeah, if you want to know that you're going to make $2,500 every single month, and that's the cap that you're ever going to make, you can go have a corporate job, and sure, that might be a stable income. That stable income, if a recession hits, how stable is that income? How stable do you feel that it really is there? As a business owner, you don't have a cap on your income. You are able to make as much money as you want to make, and I know that's why you're here. As much money it feels comfortable to you, as much money as you want to make, if you have the right strategies, the right tactics, the right support, the right strategy, structure, and support in your business, you can have the most stable income around, guaranteed income, when you have built this community that absolutely adores you. There is nothing more stable than having a business, because what happens is you build a community, you build a brand, you can move and shake it with trends, you can move and shake it as long as that community has shared values and feels connected to you and your purpose. You can have stable income forever. We are here, you are in this world to change this narrative with me. If this is something that you love, that you are also feeling very passionate about, if you're like, Maddie, you are speaking my language, that's the life that I want. Yes, you want to have financial freedom, but you also want to have life freedom alongside of it. That is what we teach around here. If you're like, no, Maddie, like I want to work all day, every single day, I can teach you how to do that, and I can give you tasks in order to do that, but that is not our mission. Our mission here is for people that want to have full lives and enjoyable lives and have an enjoyable, thriving, passion-filled business alongside of it. If you are wanting that strategy, we have plenty to teach you. If you're like, yes, Maddie, teach me how to do this, would love to help you in PTP or PSE, depending on what stage of business that you are in. We are here to be freepreneurs. We are here to be ambitious, and we are here to love our life. I am not somebody that feels like you need to be humble about your big goals. I want you to come to me. This is a space for you to say, I want to make $50,000. When in my like surveys that people take when they start working with me, and like my input forms when they start working with me, I say, get dreamy about it. Tell me how much money you really want to make. Like, what is your goal here? Because some people also, they're like, Maddie, if I could make 6 figures in my business, I'm happy. That's awesome. Like less than 9% of female founders ever make 6 figures. So let's make that happen for you. That's awesome. That's incredible. We can totally do that. Some people want to make millions. Some people want to make $20,000 a month. Some people want to make $50,000 a month, and they want to build that business. That is absolutely fine. We are here to be ambitious, but we are here to also have an enjoyable life. And that is my mission, really summed up into one page. Don't for one single stinking second believe all of these audios on Instagram, the books that tell you you have to do it, the interviews, the podcasts. Yes, it's something that some people choose to do, but it is a choice. It is something that they can dig themselves out of it. They can flip the switch. And honestly, when I see these people talking about it, I just wait until they like start their slow life. I just wait until they're like, all right, like, I burnt out, so we're going to flip the script and we're going to do something else. I wait for that to be the case because I know these people are going to be like, all right, this isn't sustainable. Because something about high achievers and ambitious people is they aren't going to sit in the suck for too long. They will notice it and they say, I have to make a change. And if you are ready to make a change, if you're feeling like your business is running you, if there's elements of your business that you don't know how to get out of, but you feel like they're necessary, but it is just absolutely running your life. If you feel like just growing a business is just not happening for you, I would love to support you through that. If you have any questions, as always, my Instagram DMs are open. You can come and follow me at This Is Madison Page. I have conversations like this there super often because it's something that I think about. I love to share these posts that I'm like, why the heck is this person like promoting this? And I don't want to shame the person that's saying it, because unless you are the Elon Musks of the world or you are somebody that has big pull, but people that are saying this are saying it because it's the narrative that we have all been taught. And I'm here to tell you we're changing that narrative, and it doesn't have to be the case. We are committing to the freepreneur life in 2025. If you're not there already, I hope that this was helpful for you. I think these conversations need to happen. If you are out there right now, if you are out there and you are looking for information of what it means to be a business owner and what it really looks like, 17, 16-year-old Maddie would have wanted to hear a podcast like this, that you are able to, and it actually makes you a better business owner to be able to take that time away. I hope you have a wonderful day. I love you. I'm rooting for you. I'm in your corner always. Let's get out there and build a freedom-filled life.